So, welcome to today's video. Today we are taking a look at this set from White Knights. It's a 12 full pan set, and yes, I know there's a 9 in here. And I realized this while I doing my swatches that I had it wrongly memorized. So just imagine the 9 to be a 12. This is a very small and easy portable plastic box set. It is a very sturdy plastic, so I think it will not easily break. I personally don't like this box, and I normally have my pans in metal tin. I will show you this later. And the reason why this is this transparent bars in between the pans. And as you can see, it is slightly overlapping. And I know that is because this is they are put into this so that they can't move, but it is really hard for me personally to get into it easily with my brush because just some parts of the pen are not available. And I imagine when you are really wearing your pants down, then it will be even harder just because you can't get in the corners of the pants very good. So yeah, that's just what I do. I normally have them in this metal box I've showed you just now, and I'm using magnetic tape to get my pans permanently on the metal without moving. So you can see I don't pre-wet my paints. You have seen how easily they re-wet and how much paint you get on your brush with just swiping a few times over the pan. This is because the company uses honey in their formulation for their paints. Honey is used as an help to reactivate the colors more easily, and also it is useful that the paints don't get moldy. A lot of handcrafters use this as well. But of course, if you're vegan, then this brand won't be a company for you. Some crafters also use glycerin instead of honey, but yeah, this company uses honey, so okay. Let's take a look at the colors. This first yellow here is a cadmium yellow medium. It's a PY35, so it is a genuine cadmium yellow pigment. It has 3 out of 3 stars in light fastness rating, and like all cadmiums, it is a little bit more on the opaque side. It is a very good and light fast pigment, but just be aware of that cadmiums like cobalts are toxic pigments, so keep it away so that if you have kids or pets, they are not able to get to the paints. Also be careful while handling toxic pigments like that. Don't eat, drink, wash your hands thoroughly afterwards, just to be that you know that you have to be a little bit cautious while handling toxic pigments. So the next color here is Indian Gold, and this is a mixture between PY 150 Nickel Azo Yellow and PR 101, and that's a synthetic red iron oxide. I'm pretty sure, have used the transparent red iron oxide version for this color. It has 3 out of 3 stars. In light fastness rating, it is a completely transparent color. I absolutely love it because I'm a big fan of all quinacridone gold hues, and I know it isn't named that way, but from the color it is like a quinacridone gold. Probably this will be the most used pigment combination for other companies in the coming years as well, because of the PO48 being discontinued, which a lot of brands used for their their version of quinacridone gold hue. So some companies already switched, some have already used this combination in the past. I think Schminke have used a PR 101 already. I know Roman Schmal had for a very long time both versions offered, and I also know that a Gallo, for example, uses this color combination, pigment combination for their quinacridone gold. So the next color is cadmium red light, so a cadmium pigment again. It's a PR 108 and it's also 3 of 3 stars. I use this color a lot for my skin colorations in a very watered down version. It's either this or an PR 255, which is mostly used as a cadmium red hue in some brands. So both work fine for me, but yeah, very, very nice pigment. The red can be from this very light one to more very dark purplish reds. And also it has a slight granulation in most brands. It's nearly not visible at all. Or some of you may know the Volcano Red from Schminke, from the super granulating watercolor series they have. This is also a single pigment, PR 108, in a very strongly granulating version. So yeah, some may know the pigment maybe from there as well. So this color here, some of you may have seen my Carmine video. I will put a link in the description box below, because this set here is super old and they have changed the pigment for this color, and for the better, I have to say, because my old pen here is made from the PR 170 column 1, which is a very non-light fast pigment. They say it has 2 of 3 stars, but probably only in mess tone, if even you get a mediocre light fastness in mess tone. I'm not sure. I know that this will fade over time very much completely. So I know it is something I wouldn't use for color, any artwork which has you want to have displayed or gift to someone else or something like that. And if you are buying this set anywhere, then if it's a local small art store, then just take a look at the pigments. That would be my suggestion. Sometimes local art stores have some sets or colors for years, so you could get an older set just to be aware of. Take a look at this, because the newer versions is the new version of this color is made from PW19, which is a quinacridone rose, perfect also as a primary magenta, and it is a completely light fast pigment. So that is definitely a very good change they've done here. What is very confusing is I have looked up on different sites which colors or pigments this set is nowadays being sold, and I have found various options. The Indian gold, for example, on Amazon was cadmium lemon, while on Jackson's Art Supplies it is, no, sorry, on Jackson's Art Supplies it's a cadmium lemon instead of the Indian gold, and on Amazon I had some orange color. So yeah, that is definitely something to be aware of. It seems that this set have gone through various changes over the years, and if you are saying, okay, it is a nice, portable and affordable set of artist grade paints, just check wherever you want to buy it, which colors and versions you're getting. That is definitely very important to know, I think. So that is the point where I realized that I had it wrongly memorized, and it is a 12 pen set, so I just divide those boxes so that we have enough space for all the colors we want to swatch. So the next color is named green, and at least on the Jackson's side it is still also listed, and that's a PG8. They say it has 2 of 3 stars. This is a pigment which is very hard to find in watercolors because most companies have switched to other pigments or pigment combinations. I've seen that is listed as a hooker's green on a lot of the pigment databases I use, and it is not light fast pigment. The 2 out of 3 stars you get only in mass tone, and when you're diluting your color like I'm doing just now, then it definitely has only the poorest light fastness rating because it will vanish very much. It is sad because I absolutely love this color and I use it a lot when I'm doing works in sketchbooks or stuff like that. That is just something to be aware of. You could easily replace one or more of the colors in the set with individual bite pans. I don't know because, of course, depending on where you live, the prices differ, but here in Germany this is a super affordable brand and you get the full pans for between 2 to 3 euros, and the 10 milliliter tubes you get between 3 to 5 euros. So it is super, super cheap in comparison to other major brands. So this here they're called emerald green. It's basically a phthalo green blue shade, a PG7, 3 out of 3 stars. And I know phthalo green is a color which a lot of people say they don't like because it just looks super artificial, and if you are now have those two colors next to each other, yes, I think we all can see it looks very artificial greenish. But I personally think it is a much underrated pigment because it is a super good base for mixing super easily nice and natural looking greens. If you are mixing it with burnt siennas, especially if you are having a PR 101 burnt sienna, burnt umbers, or other browns or oranges, you can get beautiful greens. So that is one of my most used green pigments, to be honest, because I use it just as a base and then I'm combining it with browns and oranges, and yeah, I'm doing this a lot. So this here is cerulean blue. It's a cobalt pigment, PB 35, 3 out of 3 stars, like cadmiums. I mentioned it before. It is a toxic pigment, so be careful. Keep it away from kids and pets, and be careful while handling it. Don't eat, don't drink, and wash your hands thoroughly after using, or stop with your painting. This is a color which is not listed on the Jackson site anymore. They have now a color called blue, which I've looked up. It is a phthalo blue. I don't think that is a bad swatch because phthalo blue is perfect primary blue, so you have a lot of possibilities with it. And to be honest, I love cerulean blues, and I love White Nights watercolors, but the cerulean blue from White Nights is my most loved one. I don't really like their version. It's hard to describe, but how the paint feels, and when you are using it especially, I don't like it. It is often very streaky, and it has some kind of, it feels like it is not silky like other colors are, uh, more like there are some bigger particles which you are feeling. So I don't like this version. So if I would buy a new set, and I wouldn't miss it, to be honest. I much more likely would use a cerulean blue from another company. So here I have raw sienna, which is made from PBR7. It's 3 out of 3 stars. Lovely ochreish like color. And this is on the Jackson side now, also not listed. They have swatched it for yellow ochre. I think that is depending on what you like more. I personally don't have a lot of preferences with my ochre colors. So for me personally, it isn't a big deal, but I know some people don't like yellow ochres, some don't like your raw siennas. Depending on what you are liking, this swatch of color is more negatively or positively for you. Of course, the second blue I've swatched is an ultramarine blue, PB 29, 3 of 3 stars. Beautiful color, can't say anything negative about it. I will put a link in the description box for my ultramarine color family and ultramarine blue video if you haven't watched it already, so that you can easily check it out if you're interested. So the next color is a burnt sienna, also made from PBR7. PBR7 is a natural brown iron oxide. All iron oxide pigments come in a natural or a synthetic version, and depending on where on the world the natural versions are mind, the color can look completely different. I have PBR7s seen like here, the raw sienna, from a yellow ochreish type of color to now our mid-tone brown like the burnt sienna, up to a super dark chocolatey brown, nearly black in mess tone when it comes from Cyprus in the Middle Sea? Medieval Sea. I don't know. In German it would be translated in Middle Sea, but I think it is Medieval Sea in English. Um, that is something I've read, that this Cyprus PBR7 is the best version of it in the whole world because of its super dark and strongly pigmented version. But of course, like everything, it is just depending on your personal preference, what you're liking. I, for example, like my burnt siennas made with a PBR7. And I absolutely love transparent red iron oxides as well, but I don't like it as my burnt sienna. For me personally, that are two different colors, and in my head, I call all PBR, PR 101 transparent red iron oxides as a transparent red iron oxide, and the burnt siennas made with PBR7s are for me my burnt siennas, but it is something just personal. So yeah, I know some of you love the PBR7 version, some of you love the PR 101 versions, others they love both. So that's, like I said, just personal preference thing. So this color here is called Sepia, 3 out of 3 stars. The pigment listed on my old set are a little bit confusing because they list a PBR 102. I never heard of the pigment. I couldn't find any information about a PBR 102 pigment at all. So I personally think it is meant as a PR 102, an natural red iron oxide, and it's just a printing mistake, but I can't be for sure, of course. But I don't think that you can't find any information about the pigment. So not quite sure what to make of it. If you're having any information about that, please let me know. And in the mixture we also have PR 187 and a PBK 7. So it's a red and a black. I've looked this red pigment up because that is not something I have memorized, but this is a light fast pigment, so that is definitely a light fast color. Also, it is in the neutral black. We have also the PR 187. We have a PB15 column 1, so a phthalo blue, and also a PBK7, which is a carbon black. So the neutral black here has also 3 out of 3 stars. But listed on Jackson's is not anymore the sepia, the raw sienna, and the burnt sienna. We have here an umber, a raw umber, and the yellow ochre. So the sepia and the burnt sienna is completely gone in this set and replaced by burnt umber and raw umber, or they just call it umber. Depending, of course, again, on preferences. For me, this change wouldn't be preferred. Like I said, if I have a yellow ochre or the raw sienna, I don't have much preferences between those, so that isn't something I would have a problem with. The sepia changed against the burnt umber. I don't have a problem with either because any kind of ochre, burnt sienna, burnt umber are my most used browns. But the burnt sienna changed to an umber that definitely would be a no-go for me personally, because most companies' amber are this diarrhea poop brown, and I absolutely hate it. There are only a few brands where I can say they have an acceptable amber, a raw amber version for me. And I have the amber in another set. I know I don't like it, so that wouldn't be a good change for me. I know that the raw ambers are loved by a lot of landscape artists for as a mixing color, but for me personally, it isn't a color I use. I have so many raw ambers in multiple sets, and I just don't know what to do with it, to be honest. If you have a good mixing ideas for raw ambers, please let me know, so then I have at least a possibility to use up all of those pans. Yeah, but like I said, of course, it is a preference thing, and like I said, the colors listed I found on the German Amazon, and the Jackson's art supplies, for example, are different as well. So this seems to be a set which has gone through numerous changes over the years, and depending on where to buy it, it could contain very different colors and pigments. So that this is because of this, I would highly recommend checking out really thoroughly what the shop or website you are choosing to buy this set from really has in this set. Has it an Indian gold? Has it a PV19 version of the carmine? Has it a cerulean blue or a phthalo blue? Has it raw amber or a burnt sienna or a raw sienna or a yellow ochre or the sepia or the burnt amber, for example? So, or like I said, the Indian gold is listed on Amazon, on the German Amazon at least, as some kind of yellow orange mixing color. So it is so different. That's the reason why I say definitely look it up, which version you are getting if you decide to choose to buy this set. For me personal, I can only say most of the, at least the colors, not the pigments, used in this set are fine by me, because I like when I'm working with a smaller palette like this, I like my to have a warm and a cool version of the primaries. So my cerulean blue would be preferred for me as a phthalo, and like I said, some of the other changes are positively, like the PV19 instead of the PR 170 column 1, and some like the raw amber wouldn't be good for me personally. But it's for you to decide which colors or pigments you are preferring. That is just something I definitely wanted to mention, because if you're buying the set and getting completely different colors and I don't mention it prior, that can be very unsatisfying for you. So that's it for today. I really hope this video was interesting and helpful for you. And if you leave a comment, I would love to hear if you have ever used White Nights watercolors, or maybe you have this set as well, or in a different version, because yours is probably newer as mine. And yeah, about I would love if you are leaving a thumbs up or a follow, because it really, really helps me and my channel. It is very, very much appreciated if you do. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye and hope to see you soon.